The stories that you're about to see are no different from stories from Colorado, from New York, from California. You know, all across the world, it's the same voice that we're hearing. So I hope that you can join us to watch a couple of these stories that we've put together to kind of talk about the action plan.
Not for everyone, but for many people who struggle with homelessness, it's not that they're just without a job, that their income isn't where it needs to be able to afford an apartment or a house. It's so very, very often something more.
Well, I come here and the job that I was coming to evaporated, and then COVID hit, and that was the end of it. And then the lease that I had an apartment wasn't able to afford it, so then you're basically out in the streets. And I lost my truck, lost my vehicle, so then you're really out. And like I said, it's amazing how, one day you think, how did I get here? Why did this happen to me?
I was homeless for 4 years, out there struggling, doing what I could, Ran into some major problems in my life with the drugs. By me saying that, I've become homeless. And becoming homeless is a terrible thing because now you lose all sense of value with yourself. Reason why I say that is because now you got to find yourself over. To find yourself over is going to take some time. It's not going to come overnight.
Been to college, been to prison, I've been in the Marines. You never say never. You never know what life's going to bring you. You never know what situation is going to come up. So a lot of people, I'll never do that. I'd never be there. I'd never live there. I'd never do that. Don't say that because you might end up there. So always have an open mind and be kind and help other people.
I'm a recovering alcoholic. And well, when suddenly you don't care if you even survive or not, staying sober kind of gets way down the list. I'd had a little hospital stay from a thing where I got a bump on the head. And the very nice social services people there fixed me up with a bed down at, I think it's called the Men's Resource Center. One of the biggest things I've learned from this is that this really can happen to anybody. And it really can come out of the blue, Now, I'm not saying that I didn't make a lot of mistakes to get here, to get myself here too, because I did. Yeah. But this kind of thing can just sort of come up on you in one big hurry. It did on me. And man, it leaves a guy feeling pretty lost and alone and sick and desperate. But it doesn't have to stay that way.
We can see and we can formulate opinions around why people are homeless and judge that process. It's complicated, and my position has been the recognition of it and try to remedy it as best you can, And obviously my part has been very, very minimal.
We're all a product of, our own personal circumstance and where we've been in our lives and what's led us to where we are now. And you really can't understand another person's plight, in life. You just can't.
First of all, you have to deal with society. Now you're looked down as an outcast. That's strike one against you. Now you got to find food. Now you got to find shelter. Jobs are going to be hard to find because no one trusts you now because of the situation you're under. So now you just have to better yourself in life as it is. If you become homeless, let me tell you this one thing here. You better know what you're doing. If not, you won't make it.
If they got to know us, most of them would find out that we're pretty good people. I mean, we're not all the people that are robbing your garages and it's kind of irritating just because you have a backpack on that, oh, well, that guy's homeless. I don't know. But I think if they were to instead come up and get to know us, it's a different story. I mean, it's not, they don't even know what the background is on most of us. There's a lot of people that have lived lives that they themselves that that want us gone, they themselves couldn't live. Instead, we choose to go on.
These people are individuals that are suffering from things that you and I, the average person, doesn't know about, and doesn't appreciate and doesn't recognize. I'm a man in recovery. My life changed when I got sober. A lot of those people haven't had that opportunity.
So many of the people that we see who are struggling with homelessness are individuals who've got a high severity substance use disorder, or they've got they're struggling with a serious mental illness that is untreated, and that makes it difficult for them to become willing to engage folks like us to help them find a way out.
There is plenty of help out there, but a lot of people don't know what to do, where to go, what to do, because they haven't been in that situation, as I was.
So much like storytelling, we can't finish the story until we have a beginning, middle, and end. We want to try to end homelessness before it begins, and that means education, awareness, and communication for the youth of today, so that if homelessness ever arises, they can be aware of where to find help. There are those that are already experiencing homelessness at the moment, or experiencing unshelteredness. So that's the middle part. We want to be able to provide more efficient, stronger resources for those that are experiencing homelessness right now, or that they can have access to a warm bed at night, access to medication, healthcare, things like that. And then, of course, afterwards, we've got to have a level of aftercare. So when people find sustainable housing, get themselves back into the workplace, we might think that, well, they're not homeless anymore. But that's not the case, because we still need to have a form of aftercare. We still need to be checking in. We still need to have access to healthcare, access to mental health resources, so that we can ensure that people do not return to a state of homelessness. So again, to go over that, end homelessness before it begins, stronger access to resources for those that are experiencing homelessness right now, and aftercare for those experiencing chronic homelessness to help break the cycle